Okay, so we have a client who's a 25-year-old female, and she had a brain tumor resection, and after this, she experienced executive function difficulties, planning difficulties, memory, and organizing. So she was also a greeting card crafter, and she would sell these on blogs. And so since she had a deep passion for this and she sold them, we wanted to get her back into this process. So we decided to come up with the plan, do, review process with her. This tool can be used with patients of all different skill levels, and we adapt it to her specific task of creating greeting cards. So the first step is the planning step. And this step, her clinician is going to go with her step by step what materials she's going to need in order to complete her greeting card craft. Okay.
Okay, so the first step is to come up with our goal for our greeting card. What would you like to accomplish today?
I want to make a card for.
Are you doing a greeting card for a holiday?
Yes.
And what holiday would you like to do? Does it have to do with turkeys and giving thanks?
Mm-hmm.
And
Halloween.
It's close to Halloween, but it's a little afterwards. We give thanks to our family.
Thanksgiving.
Yep, that's it. Okay, so we're going to do a greeting card for Thanksgiving. And we are going to come up with our plan. So first thing we need to do is come up with our materials, which I've lined up here so we can talk about what we need. So what do you have?
Cardstock and paint and cardstock and markers and the cardstock.
Okay, so let's write them down. So we start, it will help us if we bring it over. So
Okay.
Let's see, we have, oh, that's a problem. Okay, so we have, what's this?
Water.
Okay, so we have water. We'll bring that over and you can write that down. And what else?
The paint.
Okay, so we have paint. We'll put that over here so we remember. Write that down. Next.
The stamps.
Okay, so we'll move it over so that we remember.
Paper towel. Oh, the stencils.
Stencils. Okay, so we have stamp and stencils. So now if we write everything down, we will not forget what materials we have.
And our paper.
Yep, so we have our cardstock. So we have everything we need to create the greeting card. And this way you can look back to make sure that you've used all the materials.
Okay.
Next, we have our steps. So together we're going to come up with the steps in order to create the greeting card. So what do you think you should do first?
I need to paint.
Okay, so we can't paint unless we have our cardstock to paint on. So our first step, let's write it together, is to fold the cardstock in half so that we can create the greeting card. This will help you remember how to plan and organize your thoughts before actually doing it. So after we have the folding of after we fold the cardstock, what do you want to do next?
I need to paint.
Okay, so if we're going to paint, what should we do prior to painting?
The paint needs to go in the.
We have the paint and we have a bowl. So what do you think we should do with the paint in the bowl?
We should put the paint in the bowl.
Very nice. Okay, so let's put the paint in the bowl and let's write that down. And then let's finish off our processes, our steps before we actually do it. What do you want to do after we put the paint in the bowl?
Put it on the brush.
Okay, so we
And
can put it on the brush.
We need water to clean the brush.
Yep. And so we'll write that down. So put water in a bowl. And what would you like to do after that?
Use the paint and to paint the picture.
Yep.
For the card.
Yep. So we'll put markers on the stamp and paint on the stencil, and then we will paint. So that is pretty much all the steps you need.
And I need to take for the blog.
Oh yeah, for our blog, what do you want to do in order to post the greeting card on the blog?
I need my I need to take a picture of it.
Yep, so we're going to take a picture of the card. So here's your phone, and you can take a picture of the card afterwards. The clinician's a little clumsy. Okay, so now that we have the steps written down, we can actually do the greeting card and create it.
Okay, so during the do process, this is when she's actually going to complete her greeting card. And as she's doing the different steps that she had written down in her planning process, some problems might come up. She might forget some things due to her memory problems. So whenever these problems do arise, her clinician is going to help her to write them down under her do process. And then there's a column next to that for formulating solutions as to how to handle these problems, so that the next time she goes to complete her greeting card, she will know what to do when these situations come up. And here's what she's going to do.
So let's look at our steps. What is first on the step?
To fold the cardstock.
Yep, so we fold the cardstock, and also I would like you to cross out the steps as you do them, because we do have some problems with planning, organization, memory, so it would be better for you to remember what you did.
Mm-hmm.
So fold the cardstock, check. What's next?
Put the paint in the bowl.
Okay, so we're going to put the paint in the bowl.
Okay.
All right,
So, should I
cross it out. What's next?
the water in the bowl?
Yep.
I have.
Okay, so we put the water in the bowl. We can cross it out so we know we've done it. What is next?
Then I need my stencils.
Okay, here are your stencils.
It's not.
Okay, so is it the paint not coming out onto the stencil?
Right.
Okay, so that is a problem. So are you frustrated?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's write down the problem. So in this case, the color is not showing up on your stencil, so we'll write that down. And let's talk about a solution. So what do you think that you could do in order for the color to show up on the stencil? We need paint.
I need to look. Yeah, I need to look back. At
Yep,
the
so let's
steps.
look back at the steps, and what did you forget to do?
Put the paint on my stencil.
Yep, so we're going to put the paint on the stencil. We have to remember to look back, and we'll cross it out so you know you did it. And now you can create the stencil. Oh, that's very nice. Okay, so would you like to do another stencil?
Yes.
Okay. Good job. You remember to put the paint on.
Oh, it's.
Are there two colors on your stencil? Okay, so what do you think happened?
Forgot to watch it.
Yep. So we have to look back at our steps because we have wash your stencil or wash the
Paintbrush.
paintbrush. So we have to remember, look at your steps, wash it. Okay, so remember, follow our steps. So now we've washed it, now we can restart and put the paint color on. There we go.
Better.
Much better.
Better.
Awesome. Okay, so now we put paint on our stencil. We completed the stencil. We remembered to wash. So, forgot to color our stamp or forgot to get the marker or the paint on the paintbrush. What did you have to do?
Look back at my steps.
Okay, so we can write that under the formulate solutions. And then your color did not come out as you wanted to, so we write that down. And what could you do to formulate solution?
Wash the paintbrush.
Wash the paintbrush. And you could always ask someone, so you asked me and I helped you. Okay, so what do you want to do next?
It needs to go to sell it. Oh my god.
Are you done?
No. I need to stamp.
Yep, so we need to look at our steps. And what was the last thing that you wanted to do?
Put marker on the stamp.
Yep. So I crossed it out for you. We're going to put some marker on the stamp. So the steps are very helpful so that you can see what you've done. You can cross it out. It plans for you, organizes for you. If you forget what you've done, you can check it off so the memory is not an issue. Very nice. Okay, so now the greeting card is done. And what is the last thing you want to do?
Take a picture of the card.
Okay, so you knew that in your materials, what did you need to take a picture?
My phone.
Okay. All right, so we took the picture and we will post on the blog for selling. Very nice job. You did a good job following your steps.
Okay, so then our third and final step to this process is the review process. And this includes her self-reflection of what she did. So she's going to write down what did she do, what worked, what didn't work, and this will make her time more efficient for the next time she creates a greeting card because she'll know what steps to avoid and what steps she needs to focus on. And by doing all these steps, the planning and the doing and the reviewing, it's going to alleviate her stress and her tension and frustrations, which otherwise might overwhelm her and she might just give up on creating her cards altogether. So by doing this, we're helping her to continue doing what she did before her tumor, which is the ultimate goal. And I think, is there anything else?
So what do you think worked?
I like that we wrote down the steps before I had to do it.
Yep. That was very good. So we planned it out for you prior, and that worked for you. And then what else do you think worked?
When we crossed out the steps as we went.
So we were able to cross out the steps so that you knew what you had done, so you didn't redo the steps and you knew what was happening. And what do you think did not work?
When I didn't wash my stuff or when the colors went together. And
Yeah. So that in the next time we have to remember to look back at our steps and make sure that we complete each of them. And next time, what would you like to try differently?
maybe if the steps were I had more detail in the steps.
Yeah, we did the steps very vaguely and it was not very detailed. So next time maybe we can write more, give more examples, make it more detailed. So that is plan to review.